I'm live apparently. I don't even know where to look. Where do I look? Right there. Hello. So this is just my second video on what it's like dating while being nomadic. I don't usually put the video horizontal, but I'm going to try to remember where to look. Um, so if you saw my first video, you know this is only my second video. But I have decided to document my experiences while being on the road and trying to date. So I apologize for any background noise. I'm currently cat sitting at a friend's house, and I just thought I'd check in about this topic and see what people want to hear. Um, I've called it nomadic dating, but maybe you can come up with a better title for me. So I'd love that. Comment below. Hit subscribe if you feel inspired or not. No hard feelings either way. But yeah, so it's really funny as I have spent, I think my first video was just less than a week ago, but traveling and being nomadic, I mean, I get the question all the time, where do you live? I put in the current city, but I never know how to answer that. And so I often will either, depending on how connected the person and I are, I might tell them that I live out of my vehicle. But right now I'm not. Like, I'm cat sitting, so that's also not true. But I also don't want to be like, oh, I'm temporarily cat sitting, and then they're like, oh, and then, but where do you live? Right? Everyone, it's funny, as a society, we're so grounded and we're so socialized to have a home base. And I think that's a really interesting aspect of our culture and of our psyche that we take for granted. And I love that. I love the experience of seeing what my own inner reactions are as I meet people. And they ask me questions like, where are you from? Where do you live? Because sometimes I'm feisty and I'm in my masshole mood, and I'm like, I'm from nowhere. I live everywhere, which is not serving anyone. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm full-time traveler, you know, and I, or I can get more philosophical or hippie and be like, home is where the heart is. I don't know. It really depends on the person that I meet and how much I want to divulge about. And, as dating is totally different because, like, I'm talking actually more just generally, but dating, I mean, I want to be authentic with them. And I also don't want to scare them off. Like, I don't want to give this impression that I'm I don't know. I guess my own hang up is I don't want to give them the impression that I'm like this person who doesn't have goals, that doesn't work. And not that not working is bad, but I think I like working and I want someone who likes to work. Whatever work means for them though. Like that can mean a lot of different things. So I think it's interesting how I almost have the choice in how I pigeonhole myself and how I don't, or how I try to avoid a pigeonhole, right? Especially if I'm on a date with somebody who is a self-proclaimed ex. Um, who's looking for, and I've really found that in my later stages of dating life, whatever that means. It's how I just decided to define it in the moment. Um, that, they could be, gosh, sorry, my mind is going in so many different ways. I'm trying to really do these lives without script, which may backfire. Um, so anyway, I think that I want to still appear like the way that I feel that I am, which is I'm goal oriented. I I want to save money. I want to be successful in a way that I define, not necessarily in a way that society defines. And um, that this is a choice that I made to be independent, to challenge myself, and to see what other opportunities were out there and the people that I can meet. Because the world is full of interesting people. And throughout my international travels, I've met amazing, beautiful people. And nationally, I have met amazing people if I've stayed in a place for long enough. I found that being full time nomadic, though, I'm able to connect even if I'm in a place for a short period of time because I don't know why. Maybe it's the people I'm attracted to or the people that are attracted to me energetically or whatnot are just really interesting. I mean, I shared in a couple other videos that I was on the side of the road and met a cowboy who blew my socks off with his musicianship. I was on the side of the road again, less than like a week or later. Actually, it was a couple weeks later, 2 weeks later. And a shaman pulled over, like this beautiful woman, and all her like awareness. She was such a breath of fresh air and inspired me to start these video logs and just the people that I feel like I've met on the side of the road even are just like I said, it's almost like a deeper connection. I don't know why, and I don't really need to know why, but I just find it amazing and fascinating and beautiful all at the same time. And so then dating brings in this element of people who want to connect if they're if they're dating because they want to find their lifelong partner on a different level. Like, they're not just meeting you on the side of the road expecting you to be transient. If they like you, if you like each other, right, there's hopefully a connectedness where you're staying, uh, I guess, connected. Like, you're staying pieced together. And a lot of that expectation is geographically connecting, right? Physically, uh, locally. Like, I'm on a site where people will say that they don't want a long term, or I'm sorry, not a long term, yeah, a long distance relationship. And I mean, I'm not, you know, if I do want to find my life partner, or maybe I'll have many. I don't know what my future holds, but I know I'm open to finding that person that I really connect with, that I want to share experiences with right now, for as long as that can last. And and so I do question whether I tell potential dates or dates when we're out on a date. Yeah, I don't live here, but I'm open to moving here. But I also, so, oh gosh, let's scare them. But I'd move here. It's just like one of those interesting questions that I've never felt trepidatious about before, and now I do, being nomadic, because I want them to know that, like, I am actually looking to move to this area, um, but there needs to be an impetus for that. And I'm not going to base it on a potential lover or life partner, but at the same time, it would give me additional motivation to seek that relocation out. And another piece I struggle with is that I love being on the road. I love my independence. And when I meet other people who are in the same mindset, they're usually either not looking for anything serious, or they're into polyamory, or which I'm kind of, I mean, I'm open to anything right now. Ask me again when I meet someone. Who knows? Maybe that will all change. I'm sort of open to whatever life throws at me. But it's just interesting. And I've been on 2 dates this week. They happen to be at the same brewery. And it was completely happenstance. Both people, on their own accord, mentioned they wanted to meet there. And the first person never looked, rarely ever looked me in the eyes all night. And I thought he was cute, and we had a decent conversation. And at the end, I remember I came back in to fill my little squeaker, my little 32-ounce growler. And the guys were like, "Oh, we thought you were just friends." The bartender said that. And I was like, "Yeah, I think we are just friends." I was like, they're like, "Yeah, we never got the vibe you were on a date." I'm thinking, yeah, I never really got the vibe I was on a date. It's just really interesting how strangers can tell just as much, And I had another date with a gentleman who I just am finding that I am pickier than I thought, or than I want to be. I mean, this gentleman claimed to be my age and looked 20 years older. And I kind of wonder and I look about my age. I mean, maybe not in these videos, but I look about my age, maybe a little bit younger. But someone who looks like kind of my dad, I just can't do. I don't know, maybe I have issues with that. Maybe that'll come out down the road that I'll have to figure out and work on, which is awesome. I love that I have the opportunity to work on myself in those ways. So anyway, I'm going to keep this video under 15 minutes. And I'm not doing these nomadic dating to give life lessons or to try to dating advice or any of that crap. I mean, great if it comes out and helps you, awesome. But my goal is really just to share with you my experiences of being nomadic. And I don't even know what people might want to hear on this topic, because I didn't even know that I would want to hear other people talk on this until I started dating while traveling. And some of the other blogs that I looked at on nomadic dating, similar titles, that type of thing, they were kind of different. They were either talking about, like, if you're already dating someone. A lot of them were if you're already dating someone and you're like living in a tiny house or tiny van or tiny truck or RV with them, or if you met someone on the road, you would, how, if a relationship progressed, how would you deal with that? None of that applied to me. Like, I'm literally trying to find a life partner, wanting to find that person, and I move a lot, basically. So any titles for this, I guess it's not a channel, but a playlist, are welcome. And any topics, if you want to hear about anything, I'm happy to try to talk about it. I'm not here to give any advice. I'm not the end all be all. But, I have been traveling quite a bit, and dating in the past couple of years has been interesting. And I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about how to talk to people, even like how to kind of ease them into what my lifestyle's really about. Because a lot of people do have stereotypes and judgments around what we do. And I say we because I think a lot of you that might be watching are nomadic as well and location independent. And I think that there's sort of a stereotype out there that people don't realize is not true at all anymore. I mean, the wave of people that are nomadic and location independent is amazing. I mean, there are full on companies right now that you can pay into to keep your, you keep your job, whatever, you don't, not, if you're a location independent, you work remotely, like you keep your job, but they're almost some work remote sites where you can decide that you want to go live, you know, in Barcelona or, wherever, I mean, any country. There are all these crazy sites out there and live and work with other people who are also nomadic. So you meet a group of other people. The sites are expensive, so I haven't paid into any of them or tried any of them, so don't ask me about those. Um, I would love to try one of them, but yeah, that's just a really interesting, cool. I mean, it's a product of our current age, right? This is, what year is this? 2018? Gosh, I don't even know what year it is. Little brain fried today. I worked a lot today. But 20, yeah, I mean, there's crazy awesome opportunities out there. And if you're just finding a blog and you've never Googled it or YouTubed it, do it. There's so many awesome nomadic podcasts and YouTube videos and source sites and sources of information and apps and all sorts of awesome stuff. And I'm happy to share whatever knowledge I have with any of you. Again, just comment below and ask. I'm going to try to reply to every comment and subscribe if you're interested. I'm going to keep up a couple different blogs. I'm going to do this one on dating, which is not advice necessarily, just my experiences, and also another one called Tailgate Talks. Right now I live in my truck, although supplemented by various dog house cat sitting gigs that I love. I love living vicariously. And I might start a third stream as well. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you all have a great day. I gotta end this somehow. I think